I have no faith in this lineup. No one is actually hitting consistently besides the Magic 2. If you guys could choose your ideal lineup, what would it look like? My ideal lineup would be Derek Jeter, Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Hideki Matsui, Jorge Posada, Robinson Cano, Nick Swisher, Brett Gardner.
You are Locked On Yankees, your daily New York Yankees podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to Locked On Yankees, which is part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Thank you for making us your first listen every day. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to get parts fast. Shop for your next plumbing, HVAC, or electrical job and get fast shipping from coast to coast at SupplyHouse.com. With me, as usual, is my co-host, Brian McKeon. Brian, we're here. It's the end of another really long week.
I hope all of you are doing okay. I mean, it's definitely a sense of stress relief that they're not playing tonight, right?
You mean last night? It's
yeah,
Friday
whatever.
show.
You pull the curtain up. You guys understand how we do this.
You know how we're doing this. It's 5:08 p.m. on Thursday while we record this. So it is Fanmail Friday, and that's basically all we're doing today. It's Fanmail Friday, and we'll give our predictions as to how we think the weekend's going to go. Spoiler alert. The answers aren't positive, but wait till the end to see them for sure. So as usual, it's insiders first, and as usual, it's Betty first. And I love this question because it made me laugh. So let's look at it. Fanmail Friday. Since mental health has become a huge part of being a true blue Yankee fan, thanks to abysmal managing and player performance, I have self-medication questions. Ice cream or donuts, onion rings or fries, pizza or burgers, beer or bourbon.
I've been on a bourbon kick of late. Mix it with some soda and some ice. It really is a nice way. This is my routine. I come home, I walk the dog, I watch the Yankee game, I do the show, and then I pour myself a nice drink until I fall asleep. That's been my routine. Now, when they win, I don't feel the need to do that. But when they lose, I feel the need to have a nice, relaxing summer drink. In all seriousness, chips and guac, never a bad one. Ice cream sandwiches, and now that we're in summertime too, a little kin to your childhood, flavor ice. You ever have those flavor ices, right?
Oh yeah,
those things go down like I don't know, but I could down about 20 of those in one night.
That's so funny. Well, I don't know. I don't really do anything to self-medicate. Really, I don't drink. I haven't had an alcoholic beverage in a really long time. I usually only have them when I go out, and I don't go out. I'm a hermit, so I don't have alcoholic drinks. I guess ice cream, because we usually have that in the house. I mean, if I had all this stuff in my house, I'd probably eat all of it because I don't feel the need
to self-medicate and do things to help me get over the Yankees,
right.
Which is a good sign. Like I'm maturing.
That's good. No, that's good. Because when I was in my 20s, it was like train wreck time. Like at least you know better, and I know better now that I'm older. But when I was in my 20s, it was like, it wasn't great.
Look out below.
But thank you for that, Betty.
David F. To the next question says, being that every game counts, why do you guys think the Yankees wait until the last minute to make an upgrade? Of course, we have JD Davis. David, I gotta be honest with you. It feels like every team now waits until the last moment, right? Other than the Nationals or the Padres, or the Marlins or the Padres, no one's made a trade yet. So it's really hard for me to, and believe me, if you've been watching the show, which I know you have, we and Stacey have zero problem kicking the Yankees when they're down, especially this last week. But I can't blame them for not making moves at the deadline yet, because why should they blink first?
Right.
If a bad team, you got to look at it this way, right? The bad team knows the Yankees want to make a move, right? So they know the Yankees are a little bit desperate because they want to make a move. But the bad team also wants to make a trade because they want to upgrade for the future. So why would the Yankees go ahead and make an offer immediately when they have time to negotiate and they have time to get the deal they want? I can't blame them for this one, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm a little afraid of what's going to happen during the trade deadline. It could be a scary thing. We'll see. We'll see. But I don't know. And like what's out there, they need so much that it's like that's the other thing.
I think they're gonna go all in.
I
do. I don't necessarily approve of that, but I think they're gonna go all in.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Thank you for the question, David. Next, Shalid, another insider. I have no faith in this lineup. No one is actually hitting consistently besides the Magic 2. If you guys could choose your ideal lineup, what would it look like?
Does he mean all around baseball, or does he mean for the Yankees?
It does not say.
Because now there's not a lot of anything that I'd want to on the like. I mean, it doesn't matter to me where you put different guys in the Yankee lineup right now. They're not hitting anywhere.
Right.
If I go based on the last game, I guess I put Gleyber Torres in the leadoff hole right over the last series. Ideally for me, it looks like Volpe leading off while Volpe's hitting like he was in the beginning of the year, followed by Soto, followed by Judge, followed by Stanton. I guess I'd follow him with Verdugo, and then probably Torres. There's not a lot of faith that I have on the rest of this lineup below Soto and Judge. I don't think it really matters much, and I think Boone's proved it to you that it doesn't really matter much where you shuffle these guys because they don't hit no matter where you put them.
My ideal lineup would be Derek Jeter, Johnny Damon, Mark Teixeira, Alex Rodriguez, Hideki Matsui, Jorge Posada, Robinson Cano, Nick Swisher, Brett Gardner.
What a filthy lineup. I mean, it's so good. You have Robinson Cano batting in the 7 hole. Ridiculous.
Like, think about that. That's absolutely ridiculous. Insane. It's insane.
Oh, my God. Ridiculous. And that payroll was not the same payroll that this is. Different era, but geez.
Yeah.
Casey says, favorite memories of Yankee Stadium, either the old one or the current one. Stacey, I have a lot of really good ones. I've been to over like 90 Yankee games in my life with the season ticket plan and everything like that. It's been a lot. My favorite memory, I've 2 come to mind. There's definitely more though. I mean, 2 come to mind. One, I was at the Cleveland series when Greg Bird hit the home run and gave them a 1-0 lead. The stadium blew up. I was at the Didi game, the Didi home run in the wild card game. That was incredible. My favorite memory is the Astros comeback down 4-1 in the 7th inning. I was at that game. It was Sonny Gray started that game. Sonny Gray is my favorite pitcher ever. That was my my best memory at the new stadium. My best memory at the old stadium, I was at the Shelley Duncan 3 home run game.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a blast from the past.
I'm sure you got some legendary ones, though.
Yeah, I have a few. The old stadium, I have to say, Dwight Gooden's no-hitter, obviously. Because, I mean, how do you not have a no-hitter be one of your favorite memories?
Yeah.
The first time I went to the stadium, doubleheader, sweep of the Toronto Blue Jays. My dad was talking to Dave Winfield between the games, and I was just sitting there like, what? It was amazing. Game 4 of the 2001 World Series, Tino to tie, Jeter to win.
Yeah. That's an iconic one.
At the new stadium, I was at Game 2 against the Angels in 2009 when Sean Figgins put them up 3-2. Was it 3-2? And then A-Rod hit the home run in the bottom of like the 11th or the 10th, whenever it was, because it was extra innings. And then Eric Ibar made that error and Jerry Hairston Jr. scored in extra innings. One, it was freezing and damp. And I was dressed like the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. But it was amazing. It was amazing because I will tell this quickly. I was sitting there. A-Rod comes up to bat, that at bat with the home run. And this guy, after the Twin series and into the Angels series, says, earn your paycheck. He literally hits a home run on the next pitch.
Classic.
And the guy next to me says, did he earn his paycheck? And then I punctuated it with an expletive. And then the guy next to me and I high-fived each other because it was like, really? Like, really? Really? Yeah. Right now, you're going to say earn your paycheck after how he did against after that home run against the Twins, which my father called. As soon as they went to the commercial break, my dad goes, Texas is going to hit a single. A-Rod's going to hit a home run to tie. He's like, because he likes hitting off Joe Nathan. And I'm like, sure, Gus. Okay. Tex hits the single. Gus was like,
told you.
And I'm like, all right, calm down. And then A-Rod, I think he worked it to 3-2, right? And then as soon as the ball left the bat, I looked at my dad. I was like, are you kidding right now? And he was so excited. He's like, I told you. Because that's how Gus was. He was just like really confident all the time. You know, like actually, that's another favorite memory. I won't cry, I swear to God. Game 5 against Oakland, first division series clincher I ever went to in 01. My dad, he scalped tickets, which I thought he's like, oh, I have tickets for the Yankee game. I'm like, cool. And then we go.
You can't even really do that anymore.
I know. We go up to the Bronx and then we go in the side street. I'm like, where are we going? He's like, oh, I'm going to get the tickets. I'm like, what? We met this like weird dude who apparently was like a brother of a coworker or something on like 157th Street. And I was like, this is so shady, but we had good seats and it worked out well. And that was one of the last games I went to with my dad by ourselves. And the fact that it was a division clinching game, and you know, I was nervous the whole time. He's like, they got this, don't worry, they got this. And then Jason Giambi was like 4 for 4 for Oakland, and I was like all annoyed because I didn't like him at that point, and I was like, I don't want him on the Yankees, he's gross, ew, no. And my dad's like, oh, he's showing off for Steinbrenner right now. I'm like, this is his audition. I'm like, oh man. But yeah, I got two others that I want to bring up. A playoff game that I went to with both of my uncles, one of them who recently passed actually. It was the funniest story ever because we get to our seats and my one uncle goes to run to the bathroom really, really quickly in the first inning. And he kind of does the fake, you guys want anything? And like, you expect everyone to be like, no, of course not. Go to the bathroom and come back. And instead my one uncle says, I'll take a pretzel actually. We made him go get the pretzel and he missed like a big moment in the game. It was the top of the first when the Twins scored the 3 runs in the wild card game. Another great memory, new stadium opened up the first year, and a Yankee, I went with my dad, and a player hit a ball down the line. It was a doubleheader. We went to the game, and Nick Swisher threw somebody out at third base to win the game. Like, I was pushing for third base, and he was tagged out at third from a throw from right field to win the game. And I still, to this day, I don't remember the team they played. I don't remember the doubleheader that it was, and I don't even remember who he threw out, which is so weird for me because I always remember those kind of things. But I just know Nick Swisher made the final out catching a guy at third base. It's a memory that I'll always have with my dad. So yeah, a lot of those weird trigger memories come back too with like Yankee Stadium and stuff. Yeah. I know my brother went to the bathroom and he was working his way back to the seats when Bernie hit the walk-off against Texas.
Ouch.
Which year was that? 96? Was it 96? I think it was 96.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get to go to any of those games. My brother, and my father went to every single home playoff game in 96. Am I mad? Yes, I'm mad. Did I have tickets for the World Series game winning or clinching game? Yes, but my mom didn't tell me because she thought it would be ridiculous for me to come down from school to go to a World Series winning game.
I would have dropped out of school to go to the game.
Have I forgiven her in the last almost 28 years since it happened?
No.
Nope. All right. We're going to move the last insider question to segment 2. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button on our videos, hit the notifications so you know when they go up. If you would like to be part of next week's Fan Mail Friday, reply to the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday. Good job this week. We couldn't answer all of your questions. There were some duplicates. I had to pick and choose. I apologize if your questions didn't get answered or asked and answered, but you know, it's only a 30-minute show most of the time. So put your questions there or join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. The link is in the description, and it's not just for Fan Mail Friday. You get text from us. You can text us questions. We give you injury updates, roster moves. We send you out the lineups if they're particularly terrible, and there's a 14-day free trial. Coming up next, more Fan Mail Friday.
This episode of Locked On Yankees is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. It's summer and that means baseball, but summer also means travel. So why not mix the two? Don't you think it's time you explored some of those cities across the country that you secretly want to learn about? And we're talking about Yankees rivalry cities. Planning a trip to Fenway to see the Yankees take on the Red Sox starting over this weekend? Booking.com makes it a breeze, and it's not just about hotels. You can choose from a variety of accommodations like bed and breakfast right outside of Boston, vacation rentals, resorts, and more, all with the convenience of Booking.com. On Booking.com, you can find the perfect stay even in your baseball team's rival cities. And for Yankee fans, that's more than just Boston. It means Baltimore and Tampa, too. You can book hotels that overlook stadiums or book family-friendly resorts. Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. for your summer travel this MLB season. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, even your rivals. Book today on Booking.com on the site or in the Booking.com app. And Locked On Yankees is also brought to you by FanDuel. I love sports, and I love them so much that I never want them to stop. But as the playoffs wind down and we get fewer games, and the sports aren't quite sporting like I want them to anymore, FanDuel lets me keep the sports going whenever I want. All I have to do is open the app and dream up any bets whenever I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all of its customers with a boost or bonus daily. That's right, there's something for everybody every day, all summer long. Olympics are coming back, Olympic tennis, Olympic soccer. I know that's what I'll be involved on. Also Olympic basketball. You can bet Team USA. How about Team USA to lead the Olympics in medals? It's like minus 125. They're favorites in that somehow, but you can get in on that right now, exclusively at FanDuel. So head over to FanDuel.com/lockedon and start making the most out of your summer. FanDuel, it's the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Welcome back to Locked On Yankees. Make sure you watch Locked On Sports Today, a free 24/7 sports streaming channel programmed for you every day to bring you the biggest sports stories of the day. Locked On Sports Today brings you canvas analysis, opinions, and news, streaming 24/7 on YouTube or the free Amazon Fire TV channels app. It's part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And you can catch every pitch of the hometown Yankees broadcast with SiriusXM. Just download the SXM app and search the word Yankees. Stacey, we get to part 2 of Fanmail Friday, segment 2, and we're going to go back to a fan mail, an insider question, only because the last question of the last segment went a little long. So let's go to that. I don't know who this is from, by the way.
I'm so sorry. It's Lauren. It's Lauren Ernest.
Lauren. Thank you, Lauren, so much. Lauren asks, Verdugo has some fun custom cleats. The taxi design was my favorite. What New York tribute would you include in your designs? Lauren, if you saw, I wish I could, maybe I will do this for you in a reel one day. I, over the last year or two, have developed a sneaker collection. Addiction, some would call it. I would call it collection. And I have a ton of Jordans, like in my closet, stacked up, the whole thing. I would be like Clint Frazier and have a bunch of Jordans that are designed as baseball cleats. And I would wear like a different pair every game. That's what I would absolutely do. That's like a dream of mine. I'll never play for the Yankees and I'll never have every Jordan, but that would be my dream particularly. What about you, Stacey?
I kind of like the whole Statue of Liberty thing. Like I like the color and how it looks with the Yankee uniform for some reason. I don't know why. I just think that's kind of cool. I would probably do some sort of custom cleats that had like the skyline on them on one side and like just all New York stuff, you know, especially like focusing on the Empire State Building because I love that building. And like something like that. Maybe even, this would be kind of funny, maybe cleats that are pizza themed because of New York pizza.
Ooh, not bad.
Yeah, like that sort of thing. Like any kind of cultural anything that you can think of that's linked to New York that might not be on a cleat, that could be kind of cool too. You know, not like the obvious Statue of Liberty and skyline, but like food and I don't know. I'm like trying to think of other things that are New York.
Bagels.
Oh yeah, bagel cleats. Because
cleats.
You could just make your teammates hungry if you want to. That's kind of cool. Thank you for the question, Lauren. And yeah, the taxi cleats were kind of cool. Those are cool. I really miss the old school yellow cabs, like from my youth, the big giant ones, and then the older ones, like the checkerboard ones, like those were cool. Next, we're moving to YouTube questions. So thank you to the insiders and an advanced thank you to the YouTube commenters. Here's the first one from Ricardo Flores 4463. Hello, Stacey and Brian. Love the show. Thank you. When the heck is Boone getting fired? Last night, he went with the quote, "We're right there, BS line." With Cora just getting an extension from Boston, who would you hire next year to be the manager?
Well, they're not firing Boone because if there was a chance to fire him, yesterday was the perfect opportunity. I mean, it really was. Off day, going into a series against Boston that you really need to win. That was the perfect opportunity. They're not firing him. So I wish I could give you a date. I really do. I don't have a date for you. Next year is a really tough question though.
Yeah,
because we don't know who's going to get fired or rehired. I will caution you though. There's a very good chance it's a dude you've never heard of who is exactly like Aaron Boone. I hate to admit that to you, and I hate to tell you that, but that's what teams are after now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like they're after yes men, people who won't question the analytics department, people
won't question the analytics and won't call the players out.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, one quick thing. John Boy made a video showing how Joe Torre put together a really horrible lineup against the Mets in 2002 because he wanted them to trade for Raul Mondesi, which they ended up doing.
That's not what Boone was doing.
No, it's not what Boone was doing. And I left that on his TikTok page. I'm like, nope, it's not the same. Boone was not doing that. Not at all. Nope. Just
love
wanted
the
to
effort.
put that out there. Yeah,
love the effort.
Because he had like the Yankee Way book out. And I was like,
yeah, love the effort, but that's not. Yeah.
Nope. Oh, you get a long one here.
I do. Let's go to Alana L. Ford, 4207.
I think it's Alan. I think it's Alan Alford. Alan
Alford. Oh, okay. That could be it too. My question, if the roster is flawed, why does Cashman not get criticized? The roster has been flawed for years, but Cashman is not the issue, according to you. You're losing your well-earned credibility, Michael K. By first, it's not Boone, it's not Cashman. Well, who the hell's fault is it? Why other teams can find players and we can't? Judge had 4 walks. Why, Mr. K? Try JD Davis hitting cleanup. It's 162 game schedule, so players go through slumps. Does that mean you, with their confidence by flip-flopping the lineup? Are you watching the same game? Tampa has half our payroll, yet kicks our booties every year. They find a way to find players. Bottom line, what GM got their job after 15 years of nothing? Do give the company excuses like we all are in the playoffs every year. Should you be with the highest payroll in baseball? Be real. Alan, with all due respect, Michael K is not on the show, so he cannot answer the questions. I will say this. I do not like when this statement is made. Now, they have not been up to their expectation over the last few years. Having said that, the Yankees make the playoffs every single year. Every single year. And I know Yankee fans want championships, and I want championships too. Except for last year, but regardless, if you give me 19 of 20, 24 of 25, they make the playoffs pretty much every year. And I know Yankee fans don't want to hear this. Every other team in baseball would sign up for that. Sure. Every other team in professional sports would sign up for that. The Yankees do it every single year. They do. And I want to say this too. I know it's been poor of late. I get it. Don't sit here and give me the Cashman's never won anything thing. Because he has. Okay, like he was the GM in the late 90s. I know that team wasn't built by him. I get it. He made deadline deals that were big acquisitions in those seasons. He handled free agency those years. He did work the deadline those years, okay? He handled all of 2009. And I know we want championships, but don't forget ALCS appearance in 2011. Somehow got to the postseason in 2015. 2016 that almost made the postseason. ALCS 2017, ALCS 2019. Do we need to keep going? Like this, I know they haven't won championships, and I know we're all wanting and expecting more. But sometimes we gotta, take a step back and realize that every other team in not just baseball, professional sports would sign up for this level of success over a 30-year period. They would.
We also have to realize that the dynasty was the rare instance where the Yankees could rebuild and they didn't have interference from Steinbrenner. And the foundation for that dynasty happened when he was suspended.
Yes.
And it's not as easy for teams. You don't see teams doing back-to-back championships. The Yankees are the last ones to do it. 98, 99, 2000. The Astros are the only ones. Well, the Dodgers and the Astros are the closest because they came close to, always making the playoffs at least. And the Astros had those, how many ALCSs in a row. And sure, they didn't make the World Series all the time, but that's the closest that any team has gotten to a dynasty. Mm-hmm. It's just different now. But the Yankees can't do what they did back in the early 90s.
No, it's not realistic.
It's not realistic. I mean, as much as I would love for them to do that, because it seems to be the only way that they can truly rebuild the team and build it up to a championship, it's not going to happen. It's not
I'm not trying to defend him because I do think there's been poor moves that have been made over the years, but I don't like when I read the Yankee fan comments that, I mean, you got to be a little appreciative sometimes. And I don't like reading the comments of, well, what has he won? He's won a lot. He's won an amount that the Tampa Bay Rays would kill for. The Miami Marlins, the Atlanta Braves. I mean, the list goes on and on. Every team what team in professional sports has had the amount of success that Brian Cashman has had in his Yankee tenure other than the New England Patriots?
Right.
There's no one.
Okay. Next question is a short one and a very funny one, and I had to include this. It's from Guardian Ify. I think that's what it is. Is there anything Cashman or Boone could do that would get them fired outside of actual crimes and non-baseball actions? I thought that was funny.
Probably not.
No.
Probably not.
No. At this point, Boone is, I mean, like, what's the, I don't know. Teflon? I don't know.
Yeah.
He just
can't be touched.
He can do anything he wants at this point. Like, it's really, it's amazing. It's actually amazing.
If it wasn't yesterday, it wasn't happening.
Yeah. No, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I will say, and I don't want to feel this way. I really don't. And I'll quickly say it. But I was watching Aaron Judge speaking after the game, and the amount of smiling that he did in his post-game scrum was really annoying me. And I don't normally, but you just got swept by the Mets. You were beaten by 9-10 runs, and you're standing there smiling and like it's not a big deal that you guys have been absolutely horrible for over a month.
I don't want to be that guy, but would Derek Jeter have been doing that?
Right. Like like he doesn't have to come out and say, like, he doesn't have to come out and be mean or anything, but the way he was answering the questions, you would have thought the score was the opposite and the Yankees had just gotten finished sweeping the Mets. You know, I don't know. I didn't like that. It left a bad taste in my mouth. I think we're going to move the next question to the next segment. Sounds good. Yeah, let's do that. So coming up, more Fanmail Friday. Get supplies from the site that's made for the skilled trades, SupplyHouse.com. SupplyHouse.com is the reliable way to order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and their latest product info to help you get the job done right. Shop a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from over 400 top brands and get your order delivered right to your door with fast shipping from coast to coast. Need help with an order? Get expert support and industry-leading service from the friendliest folks in the business and talk to a real person every time. Pros in the skilled trades can get a competitive edge by joining SupplyHouse.com's free Trade Master program. Every Trade Master gets access to a dedicated phone line, free shipping, and discounts on every order. Join the thousands of trade pros already benefiting from their free membership at SupplyHouse.com/TM for Trade Master. You can order plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies from anywhere with just a few clicks at SupplyHouse.com. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube, and now it's also available on Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV Channels app. Locked On Sports Today is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with the local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV Channels app. Welcome back, Fanmail Friday. We have a few more questions from our YouTube audience. The first one is from Vincent M. Durham, 1695. He is a regular. Thank you for the question. Do you all, let me wait for the question to come up on screen. Do you all think the playoff format gives teams false hope about their chances of making the postseason? And should the trade deadline be pushed back to late August? Keep up the great work, Stacey and Brian.
I don't know about the playoff format. I don't personally love that there's so many teams that are added into the postseason every year. But I don't know if it gives them false hope either. I don't know if the bottom seed in baseball thinks they can win the World Series every single year. I think they try to. I don't know if they really go into it thinking they have a chance of winning the World Series, though.
I don't know. See, I don't think it gives teams false hope about their chances of making the postseason. But what it does to certain teams,
keeps them involved,
like the one we're covering, it gives them this sense of, well, we don't have to win the division. We can just win the wild card. We don't have to worry that we've been playing like crap for the past month and a half because we can squeak into the wild card. Again, I can't imagine the Yankees of 25 years ago thinking like this at all. No one from top to bottom would ever think this way. Oh, we could just squeak into the wild card. Like, I understand the 95 Yankees made the wild card. They were one of the first wild card teams. And it was exciting for us who grew up not seeing, well, all right. I was around for 77 and 78, but I don't remember it that much. And 81 was my first heartbreak when they lost to the Dodgers. But growing up, we didn't see a lot of the Yankees making the playoffs. So when they did as a wild card, we thought it was the coolest thing in the world. But for teams like the Yankees, because they do it all the time now, to think, oh, well, okay, if we don't make the division, hey, at least there's the wild card. And, you know, some wild card teams make, no.
It's different.
What happened to the killer instinct? And as for the trade deadline, I do think it needs to be pushed back. I'm not sure if late August is it, but I feel like this time of the year is still too early. You know, that the waiver deadline, right? Or whatever that was, where, you know, Houston got Verlander at the end of August in 2017. Like, that was like, whoa, that was a big move. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they should move it back to late August. I strike that. I agree. Let's push it back to late August.
Every sport's got a different time. It's usually somewhere around the mid-mark. I don't hate it. I've never really had a strong opinion on whether or not it should be in late August or I don't mind it being where it is. Like the NFL trade deadline is like 6 weeks into the season, but no one makes trades in football, so no one cares. It's an interesting question. I think they'll explore it soon. I really do.
Yeah.
Let's go to.
Wait, hold on. I just had to delete something because
I saw it. Yeah.
We don't have enough time. This isn't a question though, but we're gonna put it up anyway.
SC213004 says, I don't have a question, but can I get a shout out on Friday? It's my 50th birthday and I've been listening to the pod for many years. It's the first one I listen to on my way up to work in the morning. Love you guys. Thank you, Sandy. Sandy, happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful day.
I'm right behind you.
I hope the Yankees somehow find a way to turn things around for you. Thank you for listening.
Yeah. I'm right behind you, like exactly a month behind you, because your birthday is July 26th. I'm August 26th and also turning 50. So hello, my fellow Gen Xer. I'm very happy that you like listening to the show every morning, and we're happy to be a part of your every morning. That's fantastic. Okay. Second to last question from Gregory Wayne. Hello, Stacey. Hi, Brian. Hello, Gregory. I look forward to making you my first listen in the morning. Among many troubles with the squad, I believe there are too many coaches and analytical voices in the batters' heads. Verdugo started off well and has fallen. Torres is better than what we are seeing, and the list goes on. There are 3 hitting coaches. Who are these guys? And maybe one of them can be the next manager and or bench coach. James Rowson, Casey Dykes, Pat Rossler are the choices.
I don't think they're firing anyone because they just hired them.
Right.
And I will say too, I don't think the analytical voices get in the player's head.
No.
And that's a known thing in baseball. That's not what goes on. The analytics are used to make the lineup and to put guys where they are in position. And I agree with you. Like, some of these things are hard to explain. I don't understand Verdugo falling off. I don't understand Torres being not as good as he normally is. But on the flip side, to sit here and say that it's the hitting coach's fault or analytics, I don't think that's true.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, there's only so much the coaches can do. You have to perform. You have to perform.
Our final question, Matt Iomi says, why does Boone keep DHing Judge? I get with Stanton being out, you give him a little extra rest, but this is crazy. Playing him in center and Grisham in left, that solves the Verdugo problem. I think what they're doing is trying to get Judge the most amount of rest possible, because once Stanton gets back, Judge is going to have to pretty much play the field every single day. Right. So I think that's why Judge is DHing a lot. You just want to preserve his body as much as possible. You do forget that playing center field every single day on that kind of body, it takes a lot of wear and tear. So getting him as little amount of innings in the field, I think, is important to them.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, yes, it seems simple to play him in center, play Grisham in left, forget it, like, you know, give Verdugo a couple days off to think about things, because Grisham also bats lefty. So, you know, basically, you know, they're both not really, I mean, Grisham is hitting the ball a little more than Verdugo, but he's not playing as much as Verdugo. So, it's kind of like a wash in a way, and it wouldn't really matter. But yeah, I would think that's probably why, because we've never seen someone like Aaron Judge play the field
at that size,
day in and day out at that size. He is a big dude. This dude is 6'7", 280. That's a big person. So this is all like new to baseball, and you're going to see more big dudes. I mean, you're seeing them already. You see them in bullpens. You see it with O'Neal Cruz is big. Like, you know,
Huge.
there are like a lot of guys that are coming in, some of these guys you would picture either playing football or basketball, and now they're playing baseball. And it's just, I mean, they're not that there weren't tall dudes back in the day. I mean, Randy Johnson, Dennis Rasmussen, like there are a few guys that were really tall. Winfield, 6'6", that was a big dude too. And another 3-sport guy before he chose baseball, like Judge. And it's just new territory. And I don't disagree with them doing it, because it is very smart to do that, because you know, it used to be the DH was the rotating spot where you would rest guys, but then you have, like, in some seasons, you have guys that you don't want anywhere near the field.
Your permanent DH.
Yeah, they're the DH. That's how that happens. Kind of like how David Ortiz was for the Red Sox, because anytime you put him at first base, it was an absolute disaster. So, all right, quickly, predictions for the Red Sox series.
Loss. Moving on.
Yeah, I would agree. You're going to see brooms. It's just going to, it's going to be bad.
The Red Sox are on a heater right now. It's going to be really hard to beat them.
Yeah, it's going to be, well, I mean, you know, they love, what they lose 2 games to the Rockies?
Yep.
Right?
Coming back home angry is not a good way you want to face a team like that.
Yeah, right. And one of those games was 20-7. So yeah, the Yankees
not a good time
doomed.
to face them.
Yeah, they're doomed. One more time before we end the week. Don't forget, join the Locked On Yankees Insiders Club. There's a link in the description and a 14-day free trial. You get texts from us. You can text us questions, comments, and you can submit your Fanmail Friday questions there. If you don't want to join the Insiders Club, you can leave your questions under the pinned comment on our videos Monday through Thursday. And one more time, you can catch the Yankees hometown broadcast on SiriusXM by downloading the SXM app and searching the word Yankees. Coming up next week, recapping the series, doing the post-mortem of the series against the Red Sox, previewing the series in Philly, because things aren't getting easier for the Yankees, and the return of Miners Monday, because we haven't done it for the past 2 weeks, so we're going to do it on Monday. That'll do it for this edition of Locked On Yankees. I'm Stacey Gotsoulias.
And I'm Brian McKeon. We'll see you next week.